So today we're going to look at how you can send a payload to your state tree in Unreal 5.5, and this is the release version. So obviously you still have to activate these plugins in order to use the state tree, particularly the gameplay state tree. So do that and restart. Then if we go to your main editor, you should have access to the state tree here, and we're using the state tree AI component as our schema. So I've created a state tree, just called state tree payload, and there's a root task which will go to the idle task, and then there is a go-to task in which your AI character can be sent to a target actor or to a target location. And what you notice when you go to, say for instance, the go-to here, is that there is on the enter conditions, there is a required event to enter. When you click on that, that has two options. There is a tag and there is a payload struct. And this is what we're going to be looking at today. So if you click on the payload struct, there are lots of built-in ones, and these are just all structures. So how do we send a payload, first of all? We go to our AI controller. So this is attached to our character, and it has the state tree that we created. If we just go to the begin play area, basically when you have your state tree reference to the component and you do a send state tree event, you get an event here. So you can split that. The event can have a tag, which we often send. There's now also this payload, and it always has the event origin, so you can put a name there. The event payload is what's in the form of an instance struct structure, which is an instanced version of a struct. And the way that what we're going to try to do today is by using one task and a payload is we'll get our AI character to go to three different targets, one to the statue, then to the well, and then to the player. So if we go back to our state tree on our go-to task, we can just add a task here. So there's just a debug task that says go to, but we'll also use the built-in move to task. And what we want to do is we want to connect, to bind the target actor or the location or the radius to the data that's been sent in the payload. So we want to then create a payload which can carry this data, which we can then bind to. And the way that you create a payload is actually quite simple. So it is just a blueprint struct. So if you right click, go to blueprint, go to structure, and just maybe call that our payload structure, we can then add variables here. So we might want to add a target actor, which would be a reference to an actor, an object reference. We could add maybe send a location instead. So that would be a vector. We could also send a sort of acceptable radius, so how close it gets to its target or location, and that would be a float. So that creates our struct. And basically we will tell in the enter conditions that the event that triggers it must send this payload struct of the type that we created. So f payload was what we called it. And that will come with three different outputs. So when it's sent across, these will come out as outputs, which means that they can then be bound to data in tasks that follow or in child tasks. So we, for instance, would want to bind the destination location to the location output. So when you click on there, go down, you get the enter event, then you get the payload, and then you get the location, which is one of our variables. We might want to set the target actor. So event, payload, target actor, the acceptable radius. We've got our enter event under the root go to enter conditions, the payload, and that has an acceptable radius. So with the payload information we are sending, we can define the target here without having to create separate tasks. So we don't need a separate task for the go to the statue or go to the well or chase the player. Just one task with a payload should allow us to do this. It also means that we don't need to define the classes in the state tree, as we can send them externally. And what we're going to do is, from our root, when we get an event, so we'll say on event, and we will give that, so again, required events can have tags, payloads, kind of one or the other, but they need to have one. I've created a gameplay tag called payload goto. So when it receives the payload goto, the root will transition to the goto state. And the goto state has a required event. We're just saying it needs the payload. So we could say it also needs the tag as well. So let's do that. So if both of these are true, it'll be able to enter the event, and this data should get passed through. So we compile that. We go to our AI controller. So the way that we're going to do this is we'll create a function, I think. So we'll create a function which will be send payload event. So that will be our state tree. We can say send state tree event. If I just split those. As I said, this payload is an instanced struct structure. So we need to make one of these that corresponds to the structure that we created. And the way you do that is if you right click and just say make instanced struct, just one word, you end up under utilities instance struct this node. And this will create the instance struct. This is a wildcard to begin with, so you should be able to say make f payload, and that will make the structure for us. So that gives us the structure, and as we said, we've got an actor, a location, and an acceptable radius. This struct should then connect perfectly fine to the event payload, and the event tag, we've defined that as being payload goto. So if we just test this, if we maybe get our player character and just see whether that works. So get player born, we can send the target reference. Maybe we'll just give it a default acceptable radius of 100, and we can leave the location at 0, 0. The reason we can do this is in your state tree, the way that these move tos work is if there is a target actor, it will go to the target actor. If there isn't, it will use the destination variable. So this one will take precedence over the other one. So that's our payload, and then we can just connect this here. And if we just go to the begin play and get rid of that, and we can call our send payload event. We just put in a little delay. Two seconds, and then it should send the event. So in our main level, our state tree should receive that payload which tells the AI character where to move to, and we're testing it on the player. So we play, 2 seconds, now he gets the move to, and he starts following us and chasing us, and stops at 100 centimeters radius. So that's working there. What we wanted to do was maybe make it a bit more generic. So as I said, you could even, instead of the actor, we could test it with the actor location, see if that gets sent properly. Actor location. Play, and he should move to our location. So that's working, so all the data is being sent correctly. So to make this a bit more generic, to show that you can send multiple payloads to it, what we'll do is we'll maybe get an actor of a class, and we'll send that as our as a variable. We'll remove these for the time being. We'll send a location if we want to do that instead, and we'll send the acceptable radius. We can set the default value of this just to be 100, so we don't need to keep setting it. That will look for the actor, our target actor. It will then put that as the reference, create the instanced struct, set that as the payload, and send the state tree event with that gameplay tag. So here we could just set, if we wanted to send it to the statue, it should hopefully move to the statue instead of the player. So let's play. Now that's not going because there's a bit of an issue sometimes with that move to. If you get that issue, go to your move to and just unclick the require navigable end, and that should hopefully fix the problem. So now if I play, you should hopefully get the payload to go to the statue. He goes there and stops with a 100 centimeter radius. So if we wanted to send it from the statue to the well, we could basically just do this again. So copy and paste, maybe give it a slightly longer delay so he gets time to reach the statue. And this time we'll just send to our BP well class. And then if we wanted to send him from the well to chase the player, so again we'll just send another payload, reuse the same task. Maybe just give that a few seconds delay. And this time maybe we'll just send the location. We won't put anything here, but we'll send the location of the player. So we'll say get player pawn, get actor location, and do that. So again, we're using the same task in our state tree and just creating different payloads that contain the target actor. So let's see if that works. So press play. You should go to the statue first. Then he should go to the well. And then he should come to where we are standing. So just by using a payload on one task, we can change the data. We can externally set the data, which will then be used in the state tree. Now you might be noticing in your payload that there is this, if I go to the send payload, sort of an event origin. So where is that coming through? So if I just say this is coming from the AI controller, because we could send this from anywhere. If you go back to your state tree, there is no origin coming through in the required event, but in order to get access to that, so it comes through as a name, and I've just got maybe a debug task here which has an origin variable as a name, which has been made visible, and it just prints out the origin to the screen. If I add that as a task as well, so it's called debug here, on the origin I can bind again to the event, and the event has an origin that's available. So now we can get the name, find out from where this event originated. Now if we go back and play, it should print it out in the top left. So origin equals AI controller in the top left So creating a payload is just a case of creating a structure, and you can define whatever variables you want in this structure. Then in the actual task itself, on the required event to enter, you can set the structure. Those variables which you send through come out as outputs, and then you can bind to them in any of your tasks to get that information into them. And the way that you create that payload is it's an instanced struct structure. So it's a make instanced struct. We said right click, make instance struct. Drag off from there, tell it to make whichever payload you want, set your variables, send it obviously with the event tag to trigger the transition, and that information will come through. So on the required event, we've set a tag payload goto, which corresponds to this event tag which comes into our task. We don't actually need to set this, so we could just clear this and it should still work just fine. Let's have a look. Okay, so it still works just fine without the tag. So in your state tree you can either set both of them or you can just set one or the other. But this tag does have to correspond to this tag, which is the one that is triggering the transition for it to actually work. By extension, you can use payloads instead of tags to trigger transitions. So for instance, in our AI controller, we're sending a tag to trigger the transition with a payload. We could just get rid of the tag, compile that, go back to our state tree. On the route where we're triggering the transition, we said required tag. We could get rid of the tag, but instead say it needs to have a payload. This payload, in order for it to transition with that payload to go to, that payload struct here must match that transition, just as the tag needed to match it previously if it was set. So now we're not setting any tags and only payloads. One in the state tree, one in the AI controller. Now let's see if it will actually still work without any tags. So again, even without the tag and just sending a payload, it will trigger all of the transitions. So payloads can be used instead of gameplay tags to trigger transitions. And so that's just a quick overlook of how payloads can be sent in state trees and how powerful they can be to control the data that has been sent in or the tasks which are transitioning to from an external source.